Did you know that according to Luke McCoy of USA Carry, over 18.66 million citizens have a concealed carry permit? That statistic is from the Concealed Carry Report of 2019. By the end of this speech, I plan to have laid out many of the facts and myths about gun control and the citizen's right to keep and bear arms. In 1787, the Constitution was made. 4 years later, in 1791, the Bill of Rights was made. The Bill of Rights contains the 10 original amendments. The Second Amendment ensures the citizens of the United States that they will always have the right to keep and bear arms. According to Police One's gun control survey in 2013, 91% of the 15,000 officers in the survey agreed that concealed carry should be permitted to citizens without questions and without further restrictions. If the police trust the public to conceal carry responsibly, why wouldn't you? According to the Crime Prevention Resource Center, Ireland and Jamaica's murder rate both skyrocketed shortly after they banned guns, and it continues to go up. The same result happens in almost every country or city that guns are banned in. Gun control doesn't work, and if the advocates for it put much research into it at all, they would know that too. I have a statistic here that shows the crime rates of Ireland, or murder rates of Ireland and Jamaica. The thin line here and here is the date that they banned guns, and this is the murder rate here. So here it's kind of more or less stable. They ban guns and it just shoots up. Same deal with Jamaica. It's pretty stable, and then they ban the guns, and then the murder rate just skyrockets shortly after that. Okay. We'll be reviewing law enforcement's views on gun control and citizens carrying, whether citizens should be allowed to carry or not, whether concealed carry laws increase or decrease crime, concealed carry laws and their effects on mass shootings, and whether concealed carrying is right for everyone and why it is or why it isn't, and how good guys with guns always beat bad guys with guns. To begin, I will talk about the police and their thoughts on gun control. According to a survey by Police One, which was taken by 15,000 police officers, the majority of police officers agreed that keeping willing citizens armed is key to helping prevent crime in the United States. One of the questions asked in that same survey was, if you were sheriff or chief, how would you respond to more restrictive gun laws? 62.1% of the officers said they wouldn't even enforce the laws, and 20% were unsure about whether they would enforce the laws or if they wouldn't. So if the time ever arises that there would be more strict gun laws, it's very possible that the number would shoot up even higher than 62.1%. If the police aren't even going to enforce the laws, then what's the point in creating the laws in the first place? Would it not just be easier to work with the laws we already have in place and try to find solutions that don't involve getting rid of guns, since most law enforcement wouldn't even enforce the laws, and most citizens that do own guns wouldn't be willing to give them up anyway? Now, you may be thinking, just because they say they won't enforce the laws doesn't mean that they'll actually be able to not enforce them. But it's already happening all over the United States. According to the Washington Examiner, just recently, Democrats in the state of Virginia were trying to make proposals to take, register, and possibly seize legally bought guns from the citizens of Virginia. In just 43 days, over 90% of the state's counties have become Second Amendment sanctuaries. A Second Amendment sanctuary is a place where gun laws that appear to be violative of the Second Amendment won't be enforced, so there's nothing they can do about it. Next, I will discuss whether or not citizens should be allowed to carry concealed weapons. According to gun facts, in 80% of gun defenses, the defender was using a concealed handgun, and a quarter of the gun defenses happened in places that were away from the defender's home. So most people that carry concealed because they don't want other people to feel uncomfortable or get the wrong idea when they are carrying in a public space. 77% of all violent crime occurs in public places, which makes concealed carry almost a necessity if guns are to be helped stop a crime. Not including states that don't require concealed carry permits. Millions of Americans have concealed carry permits. If they were the problem, you would know it. Now I will discuss whether concealed carry laws increase crimes or decrease crimes. In states that have right to carry laws, statistics all show that after the laws passed, crime rates fell or didn't rise after the fact. Just in Texas alone, the murder rate went down 50% quicker than the national average after they passed their concealed carry law, followed by rape at 93%. That's all in just the first year after they passed the law. In the second year, rape fell 500% faster, and assaults fell 250% faster. This alone should be enough to prove that gun control doesn't work and citizens carrying does. According to a study that collected data from 1980 to 2009, states that have restrictive concealed carry laws, homicide rates are up 10% higher. People that go and get their concealed carry permit aren't looking to cause any crime. They're trying to protect themselves and others from the effects of crime. If a bad guy with a gun comes into a store with ill intentions, I'm sure it would make you feel a lot safer if you knew there was a chance that some of the other shoppers have a gun on them. According to gun facts, crime is significantly higher in states that don't have right to carry laws. In the states that don't allow citizens to carry concealed, the violent crime rates are 11% higher than the national averages. So having stated that states that allow concealed carry have significantly lower crime rates, what does that mean for mass shootings? Now, you may be thinking, well, if you let more people have guns, then all it takes is one mentally ill individual to use that to start killing a mass number of individuals. If somebody is ill enough to think about mass murder and they are set on using a gun to do it, they'll find a gun no matter what, and whether it's illegal or not. However, if there's people in the crowd that have guns, they can end the confrontation rather quickly after it's begun or before it begins. For instance, just recently, what was supposed to be a mass shooting in a Texas church ended rather quickly, where in a crowd of dozens of people, the shooter only had time to shoot 2 people before 2 members of the church fatally shot him with their pistols that they were illegally carrying concealed. Had it been illegal to conceal carry, or had it been a gun-free zone, dozens of people could have been slaughtered. There's a reason most people of importance have armed guards wherever they go. I remember when Obama came and spoke in my small town, and all it seemed like everybody was talking about in the following week was the snipers they spotted on the roofs of the buildings on our square. Obama is known for being a huge advocate for gun control, and yet he still has armed guards following him wherever he goes. Obviously, that's within reason, though, because he's the president, and a lot of people would like to have him dead. Next, I will talk about whether concealed carry is right for everybody. The quick answer is no. Now, I know that you're probably thinking, how can you say that when you sounded so pro-gun this whole time? Well, it's true. Concealed carry is not for everybody, and not everybody should carry. The crazies out there shouldn't be able to carry, but there's no real way to tell if somebody is mentally ill or not. A lot of people think a background check would do this, but it won't. The fact of the matter is, the average person is probably around mentally ill people all the time, and they don't even know it. A lot of the time, you can't even tell when somebody is mentally ill, and you're supposed to tell me a background check will be able to. And even if they could make background checks work, it won't stop the shooters from acquiring guns. It's illegal for people under 21 to drink alcohol or use tobacco products, but yet they still find a way, and they always will. Where there's a will, there is a way. And finally, good guys with guns always beat bad guys with guns. There's been tons of cases where a good guy with a gun has stopped a bad guy with a gun. I'm sure you've seen videos on your Facebook feed. It happens all the time. And there's an absolute ton of stories to prove it. Whether it be a store robbery or a mass murder, there's a video online of a good guy with a gun preventing a bad guy with a gun from doing it. Police officers carry guns because they can be used to protect themselves and others. Why would police officers carry guns if they didn't think it was for the greater good of the people? They carry them because they know it can be used to stop a bad guy. If it's absolutely necessary, then what else are you going to do? Same reason why politicians and other famous people have armed guards, because that they know that in many cases it can be the best means to stop a person that's meaning to cause harm to you or somebody else. To review, we will be reviewing law enforcement's views on gun control, citizens carrying, whether citizens should be allowed to carry or not, whether concealed carry laws increase or decrease crime, concealed carry laws and their effects on mass shootings, whether concealed carrying is right for everyone and why it is or why it isn't, and how good guys with guns always beat bad guys with guns. The majority of law enforcement are against gun control and wouldn't enforce the laws if they were made into place. So what's the point in making the laws if they won't be enforced? Citizens should be allowed to carry as it is the right and necessary to saving thousands of lives in the future. Concealed carry laws decrease crime and gun control laws increase crimes. Concealed carry laws help to stop mass shootings. Concealed carrying isn't right for everybody, but is the right choice for a lot of Americans. And finally, good guys with guns are the best defense at beating bad guys with guns. The Second Amendment is a crucial right to keep the citizens of the United States safe and is crucial to saving thousands of lives in the future. No matter what your thoughts are on guns and citizens carrying, the statistics don't lie. Concealed carrying helps to decrease crime rates, and restrictive gun control laws worsen crime rates and make them skyrocket in most cases. Our founding fathers didn't include the Second Amendment in the Bill of Rights for no reason, and they knew that if they didn't include it, then that would make it that much easier for corrupt politicians to try and take our right from us later on. That is my speech. Thank you all for listening.